what up peoples? Thank you for clicking on another video. Welcome to the hobby of Gunpla, aka Gundam Plastic Model, if you were just clicking on this video. Now if you're one for building Gunpla and you just wanted to see what Plamo-Fudo had to say for what a newbie needs, then welcome back. But this video is going to be super easy. I wanted to definitely take the time as somebody who I've been in this hobby for about like 2 to 3 years now, give or take, maybe about 2.5 years, somewhere between there. But as somebody who's definitely started from hand brushing to pins to now airbrushing, and has done some serious kit bashes and LED work, I'd like to consider myself definitely comfy in the intermediate section. But I'm definitely putting my only foot forward towards the advanced section. So I wanted to help you guys get a step and figure out where you lie in the entire hobby. Today we're pretty much just going to go over some tools, some simple stuff that I think anybody could use and benefit greatly when it comes to building Gundam. So let's take a look at that. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. Thank you guys and gals. Holy crap. I never thought I'd see that day. I still remember when I had 57 subscribers on YouTube. Alright guys, so first tool I want to go ahead and talk about is actually going to be this mat right here. This mat I got at Walmart and it was like $17.99. It's by Fiskars, F-I-S-K-A-R-S. It is a 17 by 23 inch cutting mat. This is definitely taking up a good majority of my desk. Here's a high grade box compared to this entire cutting mat. Normally you will spend $12 to $10 on a cutting mat that's literally about this size. Look familiar? Yeah, I've had about 2 or 3 of these in my time. I've even had one that I think is, I'm looking at it right now, it's 18 by 23. But I definitely saw this one at Walmart and I was like, dude, that's awesome. So, hey, 17 bucks, 13 bucks, 20 bucks, you can get a nice decent cutting mat and really just kind of transform the ambience of your whole building area. So, let's go into the next tool, right? So if we were to look at Bandai and ask Bandai, what do you need to literally start building Gunpla? They would tell you straight up only need tweezers, a filer, and some markers for detail. But one thing that they definitely leave out, right, is a pair of nippers. Any other Gundam that you get is generally gonna have some nippers. So it's not like you're always going in for a Gundam that's gonna have like the bare minimum. Now, I will say one of the most important tools you're probably gonna want, especially if you have shaky hands, is gonna be some kind of tweezers of some sort. Something that has like a long edge, all right? You can get this for like $1 at Dollar Tree. These 3 pins right here are an example of what Bandai considers their markers. These are 2 actual markers that will have an almost like triangular / rectangle kind of tip, and they're white right now because essentially what you're gonna do is you will press on them, shake them up, and just keep pressing until the paint essentially drips down in, and you can use these and color. And these pins you can definitely buy solo, you can buy them together in a pack. Here's what they'll look like in a pack. You guys have probably seen these, definitely all around. Note to self, I do mix some of my colors. So like these are my most used colors. They're definitely mixed. Like I can tell you right now, this marker does not go with this series and neither does this far left one. So just an example of what you can do there. But this is not one of those type of markers. This is a panel lining pin. This is a pin so that way if you're gonna get a Gundam, Jesus, let me get my kit bash here for an example. So if you're gonna have a Gundam, right? Spoilers, this is a really dope kit bash I've been working on. This is so that way you could kind of go in between the lines of your Gunpla and make it just kind of highlight, right? So that's what this is for. These pens are like $3, give or take, and so are the markers. You're gonna run into some markers that are a little bit more fancy that are gonna be about $10. I wanna talk about some other smaller, cheaper stuff that you can get that will definitely benefit you. One, it always pays to have some kind of like notepad or pen near, because what I do is I usually write the name of my kit and then I write the runners and I write what color I want them to be. So if I'm not one to keep my paint out all the time, usually you'll see something kind of like this. All right, here's an example. Here's a frame arms kit that I'm working on. But because I know I'm not going to use these paints that I have here literally for anything else, same with these 2, I have a notepad in here. So full armor, KO, Ritu, that's my kit. And then I go ahead and put all my runners and I put essentially what color and everything they're going to be. So a pen and pad definitely comes clutch if you're one for being meticulous or at least knowing, you know, what you're going to do with your build. All right, so something else that you guys can actually get at Dollar Tree, if you go, are gonna be these little mini accessory earring or jewelry boxes, I guess you can call them, because they're not crayon boxes, because it definitely don't fit crayons, so I'd assume they're jewelry. But stuff like this makes for a really good way to store extra parts that you don't use, or stuff for, you know, maybe potential kit bashes here. I think I have my high grade Amatsu's arm just chillin'. We have a couple of bases, and then we have some extra chests and stuff here, some custom parts left over, but I genuinely like to keep this because my homies like to custom, and whenever they come over, I like to offer, you know, all my parts and all my custom options for them, because as you can see, this stuff genuinely will build up, and that's honestly the best part about kit bashing, is like you can make anything. You can put any kind of parts together and make something better. By the way, I just taught you something new. Kit bashing means to take like multiple different armors, parts, weapons, heads, whatever you want, do a different color scheme if you want, and just create something new out of it. Again, these are all $1. These are $1 each, so you know that's $3 right there, plus tweezers. So getting into our next item, I'm genuinely pretty happy to talk about this one because nothing helps me keep my stuff more in control than this box, especially for someone who is now building, having to stop, and then picking up that build later on. This is a Bandai Entry Spirits organizer box. Pop top comes off super easy, makes for a really easy, convenient way to get that off. So, like I said, every builder is gonna need some tweezers. I genuinely have about 3 or 2 pairs. I've got this pair, one more in here, and then y'all saw that from there. This is some other stuff that I just genuinely keep in mind. Like these are some 3D printed runners, but one big thing, if you are one for marks after you cut your Gundams, this is a glass filer. This is from Prime Racer. Or, I'm sorry, this is the Racer Prime, I believe is what it's called. But this is the simple, chunky XL version. They have another one that's like literally that thin, give or take, maybe about this tall, roughly. I think it's a little bit taller. But this is just the one that I got. If you actually go to Gundam Play Store, not an ad for them, if you go to Gundam Play Store, you can get like a custom one. So as you can see, this kind of has the same concept as the earring box, so it just generally is super useful. And as you can also tell, I'm just kind of gently removing everything, so it's making for easy build, so you can set up and do whatever you want. But if you are absolutely new to building, I'm gonna recommend that product right there. Okay, genuinely, if you are new to building, I think the only things you should actually need are tweezers and nippers, okay? This is essentially so you can go ahead and cut out your pieces, and this so you can go ahead and put any decals or stickers that you might have gotten carefully, okay? Now, nippers can range anywhere from $5 to $10, $15, $20. If you ever hear the term God hand is for people who build very avidly and do the DCP process, which is dual cut process, cutting twice. What does that mean? It means sometimes you don't want to damage your nippers. So what you'll do is you'll cut a frame out with the runner still on, and then you'll go in with a better pair of nippers, and from the part to the runner, you'll clip it so that way you minimize the nub marks. Nub marks are going to be these little white dots or colored fixturations, whatever they're called, little colored dots, right? And it's going to be from where you cut your Gunpla from the plastic. It's just a pressure mark that generally shows on Gundams and stuff, nothing to it, all right? If you want to, you can get stuff like this, which is a sanding sheet, and you can actually work at removing said marks. Me personally, my kind of preference, because I know when I started, I was like, what number do I start with? I'm just gonna get all of them. Don't do that. Don't do that. If I could be completely honest, and some people might agree with me, and a lot of people will disagree, but 1,000 to 1,500 is a beautiful starting point. Like absolutely best damn starting point. And if you are gonna be more meticulous and go into like real grades and master grades and stuff like that, then you can work on more extensive nub removal and go lower and not worry about like the type of finish it's gonna leave because, well, you're gonna paint it. So you could also look into that. Stuff like this, forgive me you guys, I can't quite remember, but it can't be any more than $10. I really wanna say it's probably like a high $8 at best. So there's that. Now, another this is not an ad, but if you go to USA Gundam, forgive the paint, I didn't want a normal blue one, I wanted a green one. At the time, no, they still have it, excuse me. If you go to USA Gundam store, you can get what's called a Gundam part separator for maybe $7 to $10. This is extremely useful because sometimes you'll have some parts on a Gunpla that you can't get out. And so essentially you need this so that way you can kind of fit it through. Actually, this is a integral shield. That part definitely doesn't come out. But if I wanted to, I could slide this in over here. Jesus. There you go. It's a little bit hard, but you see how I have that crevice now? So now I could hold that, come over here, and just finish and take that off. So definitely super handy if you're one that bites your Legos, you know what I'm talking about. And this is, like I said, no more than maybe $10. There's more out there that are plastic. I don't recommend getting a plastic because you put a lot of force on that. As you saw, I had to get in there. So definitely get yourself a metal one. Again, USA Gundam Apex part separator, and it will only come in blue. I apologize for that. I wanted to be different and paint mine. So, in recap, let's check it out. All right, guys. So in short, generally, you don't even really need all this. All you really need to get started to build Gundam are a pair of nippers and a pair of tweezers, okay? These are literally tweezers that are from Target that I picked up from the beauty section. And I genuinely will always hold these because I remember where I started and I'd like to see how far I come in the type of equipment I have. And day one, these are the Entry Spirits Bandai nippers, all right? These are about like 19, honestly, I've gotten them for 15 on Amazon, but Amazon's being pinche. I ain't even gonna lie with you guys, it's probably like $20, $24 now. Damn you, Amazon. If you can find these in a store, they should be $19.99, give or take. But they're absolutely awesome. They got this almost mecha-like grip to them. Very nice, very comfortable to use. I mean, this is my hand. I'm a pretty big dude. They're almost the size of it. So genuinely really awesome. These have never let me down. I think I've had a total of 3 of these in my life, and I would have only had 2, but I had a friend that was getting into the hobby, so I went ahead and gave him my pair because, well, my second pair because they were brand new. But yeah, you definitely only need something like this. But if you head down to Target, Walmart, heck, even HEBs, and some of these stores, they'll have $6 nippers, usually red, pink, I think maybe blue, I'm not too sure, but they won't have rubber on them. Or if they do, at least they'll be a lot thinner. And then tweezers, generally, guys, you can go to Dollar Tree, you can pick up a pair of tweezers, especially the sharp point ones, for literally $1.30 because, you know, they raised everything. But I do suggest you get yourself some kind of little carrying case or some kind of little knapsack kind of deal so that way you can keep said tools together. I used to keep these both in here, but now I keep these in the box. And generally, you know, there's some other tools here, right? So I just kind of keep my actual nippers that I use here. These are my Tamiya craft nippers that I went ahead and picked up at a model store one time. Really awesome, very, very worth it. I think they were like 20 bucks as well. If you want to, you can also look into getting a pair of, you know, cutting knives. I'm really not too, you know, razor blade knives kind of deals. But essentially one of these, great value X-Acto knife, and I know Dollar Tree definitely sells these because these are really good with edging off, you know, parts, or, you know, if it's too rugged on the outside, these are really good for scraping and just kind of cleaning up your mess. But definitely don't do it where you've got a finger in line of sight. But that would, of course, be taking a step into the advanced, or not even the advanced, into the intermediate, you know, like getting a little bit more crazy. But if you're new to Gunpla, guys, you definitely do not need a lot. Some other stuff that I have, if you ever want to branch out, I personally like to paint all the joints of my model kits silver. So like, let's see, let me go ahead and find a nice little spot. Actually, here's a good spot. So here's what the knees look like before, right? If I go ahead and take my little pen over here, I just highlight the center. I'm not trying to be perfect with it. I'm just trying to show you guys that a difference can indeed be made. So it kind of looks like a decal sticker now, but it also looks a lot more proper, to say the least. So definitely really cool. Like for example, this hole right here, this is a hole that I drilled in. If you even take like a sharp pointed silver pin, you can even do like a nice bullet hole or something like that. So you see, kind of added some texture to it. Just wipe that. And now, I mean, you can't really tell too well, but from the edge and from up close, it definitely looks a lot better. But yeah, man, that was probably the worst example I could ever kind of show you guys for a silver marker. But if you want to see more of how I do a lot of my stuff, you can definitely check out some of my videos. We're gonna go ahead and do a intermediate tools and like what you can do from there, what you can use, how to get crafty and stuff like that. And then we got the what's P-Bandai coming out, because if you're new to Gundam, you've definitely probably been wondering and hearing, you know, P-Bandai to the fullest, right? For those of you wondering, I'm gonna make a video over it, but P-Bandai is essentially a site where you can get very limited printed kits. That means kits that aren't just generally mass produced in the like hundreds of thousands numbers, maybe in just the thousands numbers. So example, this is a kit that has indeed been released, but this is a clear version of it, okay? This is the second V clear Gundam base limited edition. Over here, this is the Gundam base. This is a store in Japan that you can actually go and visit, or if you shop at P-Bandai, which is an online store only, when the time is right, if your Gundam is in stock, you can wait for pre-order, place your purchase, and then I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna be very honest, 3 to 4 months later, you will finally receive your package. So definitely really good to do in bundles. So if you have a friend who wants a pretty limited edition Gundam on P-Bandai, I'd suggest you guys order together and just get it shipped to the safest place. So you guys, I've been Plamo-Fudo. I really appreciate you guys for watching. I'm gonna go ahead and head to bed now. Long day at work. I came home and I filmed this and everything. But yeah, for the most part, thank you guys. If you want to know more about Gundams, if you want to know more about what was this, what was that tool, definitely feel free to post a comment here. I'd love to answer everything. I've got people in my Discord. That's right, I also have a Discord. If you guys want to go to my YouTube about me and stuff, you should see the Discord link. Or if you head over to my Facebook, which is also Plamo-Fudo, you'll definitely see something about my Discord on the About Me as well. So in my Discord, I have people who moderate the chat and everything, and people who also moderate my YouTube comments. So they're always down to help you guys and just help anybody grow. So from me to you, go Gunpla, keep building, and may you have a great rest of your day. Please like and subscribe, and we'll definitely see you in the next one. Peace.